Welcome to Pesach Preview 2012 Part 2. At the beginning of the Seder night, after we make Kiddush, just before we begin and ask the Ma Nishtana, the 4 questions, and say the Haggadah, there's a very interesting paragraph. The paragraph is in the original Aramaic language, and we make a statement in that paragraph which has 3 parts. Part 1 we say, Halach ma'anya. This is the bread, referring to the matzah. This is the bread of affliction which our forefathers ate in the land of Egypt. Then we say, all those who are hungry, please come in and eat. All those that need to make a Pesach Seder should join us. We invite guests. And thirdly, we say, we are here now, but next year we will be in the land of Israel and we will be free. And 2 very obvious questions come to mind. First of all, how can we invite guests when we are already part way through the Seder? Shouldn't we invite guests before Pesach? Or at the very least in Shul before we go home? We've already made Kiddush. Why are we inviting guests now? And secondly, what is the connection between the 3 parts of this paragraph? This is the matzah we eat. All those that are hungry should eat. Today we're here. Next year we'll be free in the land of Israel with properly free people. And one of the commentaries explains the following. That this paragraph is in fact a conversation. It's a dialogue between us and God. We sit down to the Seder and we say, we need to experience the holiness of the Seder. This is the bread of affliction which our forefathers ate. Affliction doesn't only mean physical affliction. Affliction refers to spiritual affliction. We say that just as our forefathers were in Egypt and suffered from spiritual poverty, spiritual affliction, we too. We're eating bread of poverty. We too sometimes suffer from spiritual poverty. We are empty. We don't match up to the spiritual level that we'd like to be on. So how are we going to experience the Seder? How are we going to connect to the freedom, to the experience of Chayrus that is embedded in the Seder experience? And the second part of the paragraph is God's response. God says to us, don't worry. Kol dichvin, if you are hungry, as long as you want to connect, please come and eat. As long as you want to have a Pesach Seder, if you want to experience, you will. The second part of the paragraph is not about inviting guests. We do that before Pesach. But it's God's response just before we begin the Seder. If you want to, if you just have a desire, you might be poor spiritually. But if you want to connect, you have that will to absorb the Seder, you will, and you'll be able to eat spiritually a big and fancy meal during the Seder. And our response is, that is fantastic, and we commit to do that. And we understand that if we do that, we will in fact absorb the message and the experience and the energy of the Seder. And therefore, even though we're here now, which means we might be in spiritual poverty now, but once we've experienced the Seder, next year, we will be free, spiritually free, and ultimately we'll taste the freedom of Mashiach with the Beis HaMikdash speedily in our days. Just a Pesach reminder, there's a law in Shulchan Aruch, in the Code of Jewish Law, that before Pesach one should give ma'os chitim, which means to give money to those that are in need. Unfortunately, in every community, there are those that find it difficult to make Pesach because of financial constraints. So contact your local shul, your local rabbi, and contribute to the fund where it will be able to help those that don't have enough to make a proper Seder, to buy matzah and wine, to assist them in doing so. Have a great day.